You've heard it before, perhaps from him, his friends, or even from yourself late at night. You're too much. Too emotional, too intense, too complicated, too deep. You ask too many questions, feel too deeply, and care too hard. Somewhere along the way, you started believing it, thinking maybe you were the problem, difficult to love. So you tried to change, holding back feelings, laughing at things that hurt, pretending not to care, making yourself smaller and quieter. Yet he still left, not because you weren't enough, but because even dimmed, your light was too bright for him, your truth too loud. Now you wonder why loving you feels like work, why you're always too much and never the one chosen. But what if I told you, you were never hard to love, he just couldn't handle you? You remember moments he made you feel like a burden. When you needed reassurance, he sighed. When you cried, he called you dramatic. You started apologizing for your emotions, for needing him, for expecting basic consistency, honesty, and effort. You convinced yourself that love meant making yourself easier, that if you needed less, asked for less, felt less, maybe then you'd be lovable. Instead, you became a stranger to yourself, swallowing words, ignoring your gut, staying quiet when everything inside screamed. The truth is, you were never the problem. He wanted someone who didn't challenge him, didn't ask him to grow, didn't make him feel things he wasn't ready for. He wanted surface, and you were depth. He wanted easy, and you were real. You're not hard to love. You're just not for everyone, and that's not a flaw, it's a filter. You feel deeply, love intentionally, ask questions to know someone's soul, and need honesty and consistency because of past disappointments. None of that makes you difficult. It makes you aware, someone who knows her worth and refuses to settle for less. Some people can't handle a woman who knows her worth, speaks her truth, doesn't shrink, doesn't play games, and doesn't accept half-hearted love. He couldn't handle you, not because you're broken, but because you're whole, and whole people don't bend to fit into spaces not meant for them. He wanted someone who wouldn't question his silence. You asked why. He wanted someone to accept mixed signals. You wanted clarity. He wanted someone to wait while he figured himself out. You wanted someone who already knew. That scared him, because loving you meant showing up, being honest, meeting you where you are, and he wasn't ready. So he blamed you, making you believe your standards were too high, your emotions too big, your love too heavy. But it wasn't. It was just too real for someone still living in pretend. Stop shrinking yourself for people who can't handle your fullness. Stop apologizing for wanting real love in a world of casual connections. Stop believing you're too much when you're exactly what someone worthy is looking for. The right person won't make you feel like loving you is hard work. They'll meet your intensity, match your depth, and love you louder. They'll see your emotions as strength, your honesty as courage, because you're not hard to love. You're just easy to lose if someone isn't paying attention, and he wasn't. He was distracted, unavailable, emotionally immature, too afraid to feel, too comfortable in shallow waters to dive deep with you. That's not your fault, that's his loss. You don't need to become less to be loved. You need to find someone who's more. More present, more intentional, more ready, more worthy. And until then, choose yourself, choose your peace. Choose the version of you that refuses to apologize for being human, for feeling, for wanting love that feels like home, not a war. You're not hard to love. You never were. You're just the kind of love that requires courage, presence, and truth, and not everyone has that in them. But someone will. Someone will see your depth and not run, hold your heart and not drop it, love you without making you feel like you're asking for too much. When that person comes, you'll understand why it never worked with anyone else, because they weren't built for you, and you weren't built for them. So stop blaming yourself. Stop dimming your light. Stop thinking you need to be less. You don't. You just need someone brave enough to love you as you are. And that person? They're out there, searching for someone exactly like you.